my intro here. Can I share? Oh, nope, I cannot share. Can I? Give me 1 second. She take her tablet. I still might not be able to share this. It's sucky. I can. I just have to log into her Facebook. Hey, so today's title is having a partner while living with MS. I got like 3 platforms going on right here: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So, hey, Miss Janice, how you doing? Um, and actually YouTube too. So, for you guys that don't know, a lot of our followers on our Mr. and Mrs. on TikTok, I have multiple sclerosis, and it is a silent but deadly illness, and I've been dealing with it. Being diagnosed, I've been dealing with it ever since about 2011. But I've um, I've had signs of being with this disease probably teenage years, 1997, 96. I was becoming paralyzed periodically while I was playing basketball. Um, just going through a lot of stuff. Didn't know what was going on. But it, like I said, it wasn't until 2011. Just being quick for you guys that don't know that I have multiple sclerosis. Um, and to give a quick synopsis of what it is, uh, I think I said that word right. I'm using it correctly. But multiple sclerosis is when your myelin sheath. A myelin sheath is your coating around your nerve on your in your nervous system, and you're having issues because they've been scarred. The coating around the nerve has been eaten off, and so you're having a misfire when your brain is telling your body parts to do certain things, and they're not working correctly. And so 2017, I got to the position that I am in now. Prior to that, I went through a long battle trying to continue to walk. Almost was placed in a wheelchair. And this episode is basically dealing with having a partner while being diagnosed with MS. And this is go as far as having cancer, um, and any form of ailment. So Instagram, TikTok, you might hear the intro, but I have to play the intro because this has become a podcast. So give me 1 second and we are going to continue the feed. Thank you guys for returning. I totally appreciate it here on Facebook and YouTube. So, having a partner while dealing with an illness can be extremely hard. And a lot of people, we get married and we say those favorite words to death do us part through sickness and health. And do we honestly um, honor those words? There are so many people that have their partner leave them while they're in a marriage when they get sick. A lot of the times, definitely dealing with my community, the MS community, they can't handle it. The person is not the same. There's something that they start to argue with. You're not the same person anymore. To be honest, I am not the same person. The doctor just sat up here and told me that I have an illness that is uncurable. So, what do you mean I'm not the same? No, I am not. And are you going to leave me because I am not the same person, that person that can go out and have what you consider to be fun? Um, I don't know. I just going through my previous marriage and having to, we were married for what, 13 years? And I want to say the last from 2011 to 2017, that's when I finally separated from her. It was hard. And I personally stayed too long. She was doing what she needed to do for herself, but I stayed too long. I'm a male. Society tells males that if you have legs, being sick, that's almost not an issue. If you can move a little bit, if you can do some form of work. But if you can't, a woman is not going to want to take care of you. And so in the back of my mind, that's my issue. That's why I didn't leave a toxic marriage. Um, that's like the top reason why I stayed in that marriage, because here I am, I'm on Social Security. My Social Security is only $400 a month due to me paying child support. You can't really live off that. You're going to automatically end up staying with someone that, quote unquote, people are going to see it as someone taking care of you. I'm a male. That's in the back of my mind. Like, I leave this marriage, regardless of how bad it is, where am I going to go? I want to be loved by someone. I want to be in a relationship with someone. But how can I? I'm nobody. When it comes to being a male, I'm a nobody, you know? And people don't yeah, Andy, and I'm happy that you do have someone that is assisting you and it's not really taken care of. Andy, I had to separate that from, she cares about you. You know, no one is taking care of someone that they care about, they love. It is not taking care of that person. You are wholeheartedly loving that individual. And so that's one of the things I had to do to separate myself from the fact that, oh, dang, you know what? One, I had to care for myself. I had to love myself. That was the very first thing I had to venture out to do. And once, once I did that, that's when I came to the realization that it's not that I need someone to take care of me. I just need someone to be honest with me, trust me, and just love me for who I am. And I found that in my second marriage. A lot of us, you know, again, we get sick, we get caught up in the thing of what society considers normal. There's no such thing as being normal. A normal for me may not be the normal for the next person. And as soon as we realize that, the sooner we'll understand that life changes us. We would never be the same person that you met when you first met me. So don't marry me. Don't get in a relationship with me expecting me to be the same. That's what growing with a partner means. So, my wife now, Mrs. Takeover, we always find ourselves in a conversation where she's always telling others that, hey, I'm always, he's always running circles around me. I'm trying to keep up with him and I'm the normal one. And, she has some ailments herself, but it's not what people consider to be serious, you know? And, I thought they had Messenger on here. Let's see. Um, there you go. But yeah, so you it's just so funny when she does that. When she constantly tells everybody, "Oh, he runs circles around me," and it's really not true. If you know anything about someone that has multiple sclerosis, and if they're able to walk, their mindset is, "I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep pushing, regardless if it hurts me, because I don't know. There's a chance that I may stop walking tomorrow." Because if it was up to the doctors that we talk to, a doctor will sit up here and tell you that, you're dead, pretty much. I would say probably about 8, 9, 10 years ago. Don't quote me on this, but I do believe doctors were pretty much writing people off when they got diagnosed. And once they started producing medicines, treatments, then it was more of you have a chance now. And I don't even think it was due because they believed that you had a chance. I feel as though the chance was because you're taking our medicine, which is chemicals, which is pretty much killing everything else. And hey, I take a treatment twice a year. I'm not knocking anybody that takes treatments or anything. I am really on the verge of looking for a path to holistic cures for MS and going that route. And my neurologist knows this. But until then, I'm having to rely or think I need to rely on these medications. This has like been a hard battle for me. And one of the reasons why I'm still on some of these treatments is because I have a loving partner. And the last thing I would like to do is not take any form of medication and then I get back to how I was physically in my previous marriage. It was easy for me to sit in sorrow and not try to better myself in the previous marriage because it was toxic. I didn't have no drive. I didn't have no oomph. There wasn't a real goal for me when it came to my previous marriage to try to get better because I was almost like, what for? You know what I'm saying? And it's hurtful knowing that you're married to someone that could care less about what you're going through. And again, I can't be mad with her. And I would tell anybody that don't get mad with a partner that you are staying with. And that's something that I had to learn. Um, because the very first time where she stepped outside of the marriage, that was a thing where, okay, that's you. You did that. And so we're gonna have to talk about it. And we went through whatever emotions that we had. And but she kept going. And so when someone keeps disrespecting you. You have to look past the fact that I'm not going to have anybody. No one's here to take care of me. I'm going to go ahead and say, if you have to being sick the way that we can be sick with multiple sclerosis, if you have to find yourself in a nursing home, finding a great nursing home is good, but just being in a nursing home and separating yourself from that toxicity, because stress for us is a horrible thing. And once I understood that was one of the main things that was keeping me down, me being in this stressful marriage, it stopped me from being great. You know, again, I have so many people saying, you look great to have multiple sclerosis. It is a job to do or go through what I am going through with MS. It is a it's a job. You get what I'm saying? And anybody that's sick with cancer and whatnot, to be optimistic every day when you know you have pain every day, and it is a hard thing. So having a understanding partner that knows that it's not that you don't love me, or it's not that you can't do those fun things with me, you're going through some things. And so now that partner that actually cares, that loves you for who you are and your changes, they're going to they're going to switch their thought process. They're going to adapt to the situation. So there's a lot of us in the MS community that are looking for partners. The very first thing that should be placed on the table: hey, I got MS. This is what MS is. And you do have a lot of people that are like, okay, I'm game for it. I'm game for it. I really don't need you wasting my time. Don't come in my life for a few months and make it seem as though you are game for it. And then when shit hits the fan, you can't do it. That is so sad to me when I hear the community talk about, hey, I'm dating this particular person, and once the shit hit the fan and I had a flare up, I can't walk. I'm using the bathroom on myself because I can't make it to the bathroom. You off and leave me. Like, that is one of like the horriblest things I ever heard for someone to do to an individual. Like, if the shoe was turned on the other foot, and I don't think people really seriously think about that. If I'm sick, I'm wanting someone to be there for me. And I guess it's like one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about relationships, because of my situation that I am in, that my partner does not have to be here with me. She doesn't. But she's not with me because she seems to need to take care of me. She knows that I'm a male, and she knows that society sees males as, you're supposed to be the head. You're supposed to be the person that bring home the bacon. I don't bring home the bacon. My wife does. I am 100%. Yes, you tell them right away. You have to. Why not? Because if you don't tell someone, and I'm answering a question, guys, from TikTok. If you don't tell someone that you have an illness right away, you can't be upset with them if they decide to leave you because they can't take it. This is something we this is a misconception that we get when we start relationships. No one wants to tell anyone about their past, or do they want to divulge in the person that they're trying to consider their partner's past. I want to know everything. I want to know what I am getting into, because you need to allow me the respect to say politely, you know what? You are a great individual, but I'm not going to be good with this. I'm not. And that's something that I can respectfully say that my wife now, that's what she did. At first, she worked at the pharmacy that I transferred my prescription to, and she saw my whole list of 36 pills that I was taking, and her first judgment was, "Whoa, something's wrong with this dude. He's on a lot of medications." And it wasn't until we were talking a couple of times, me going to get my prescription, I explained to her why I was on those medications. I did not know that she chose to look into what MS was. She did not know. And it's before we even started talking, like dating wise. And so for me, that meant something as a friend, that because we became friends, I guess you would consider associates, because I was a patient, that she was prescribing medicines to and whatnot. And so we were just talking, and she took the time to go see what multiple sclerosis was. And so I've always appreciated that as a friend. And so yes, you should you should never not tell someone that there is something going on with you. Do you not understand how so many relationships, and this is outside of just having an ailment or disease or whatever, so many relationships, so many people have been killed or mistreated due to the fact that, oh, I don't want to embarrass myself, or I'm too ashamed to tell someone that I have cancer. I'm a cancer survivor. I have multiple sclerosis. Um, I have gone through so much trauma that I was overly sexually active when I was young. Hence, I have a high body count. But does that high body count really trumps the person? You cannot tell someone that you like them for who they are right now and not understand, in order for them to get to where they're at right now, is that they went through a past. That past that they have, that past that you don't want to talk about, that past that you don't want to disclose to other people, is what made you. I've told so many people that being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis was the best thing that ever happened to me. As much as I want to get rid of it, it's the best thing that happened to me. It gave me a purpose for myself. It made me take the time and look at self and say, I can't be this person. I can't continue to be going on through life just going through the motions and trying to be everything for everybody else and not be anything for myself. And my partner right now, she sees that. She pushes me to do that. And I do the same thing with her. Everybody has dreams. And it sickens me to know that society places the the title of head of house on men, just for men to sit up here to say that a woman has no place. So a lot of men with illnesses like me, they're too freaking macho to go to the doctor. They're too freaking macho to sit up here and say that I need help. Stuff like that has to change. We have to reprogram ourselves. So it's like, it's just crazy to me. I don't, I personally don't get it. I really don't. Um, just looking over some comments off of Facebook, but you seriously have to step back and see it for what it is. We've gotten so accustomed to what people say we should do and should feel in high places that don't go through some of the things that we as a nation goes through. You know, these politics, they put themselves in these high seats and then they tell us how we should feel about life. And we soak it up. So this is where we're at when it comes to having a partner that is sick and having a partner that is not sick. This is where we're at. This is why a lot of people with illnesses like multiple sclerosis get mistreated, get left behind. And I'm talking about it is like so toxic to the kids are mistreating their parents or their siblings, let alone their partner. I've talked to so many people that their kids couldn't understand why mom couldn't get up and have fun with them anymore. So the child, even at a young age, was resentful to their mom, resentful to their dad. Just didn't they didn't try to understand. They didn't try and go through the motions, regardless of parents putting the pamphlets down and trying to get them to see that, hey, it's not that I don't want to be that parent. I can't right now. I've gone through all these stages. I'm still kind of going through all these stages. I have grandkids. I'm still, I'm trying to change my life. And I am so appreciative of having that partner that is assisting with me continuously changing my life so that I can be here. I want to see my grandkids get older. I want to see my partner fulfill her dreams. My wife just started back to school. 34 years old, finna be a nurse practitioner. She had the same dream at age 20, early 20s when she married her first husband. And it's until 34 she's able to achieve that because I understand that previous husband held her down because she needed to know her place. She needed to know her place. I am not that man. I shall never be that man. I know what it means now more than ever to have my partner beside me and me to push her as much as she's trying to push me, to care for her as much as she's trying to care for me, regardless if I'm sick or not. The grandest thing that I can do is contact her while she's at work and I'm cooking, washing dishes, washing clothes, cleaning up the house and say, babe, I can't do it. I can't do it today. This is not a great day for me. For her to say, it's okay. Go take a rest. That is the most relaxingest thing that I can hear from time to time. The most appreciative thing that I can hear. Because there's so many people that need that. You're not going to always be able, even if not having a disease like multiple sclerosis. There are going to just be some hard days where the world is just kicking your ass. And you're going to need to just sit down and take a break. And not having a partner that you can understand that with them as well as them understand that for you. This is a sad world. This is a selfish world. Something has to change, guys. Everybody is so. Miss T, you needed to hear this today. Well, hey, I am doing God's work, and when I move, when God tells me to move, majority of the time, this is the case, and I need to hear it myself. Miss Child says it's all about the support from our significant others that let us know it's going to be okay. That is so true. And Ms. Quinn says MS is kicking her butt today. Mr. Lissa says from TikTok, we do my autoimmune, any autoimmune disease. You're right. Again, it doesn't stop in the MS community. It's even with small elements like having a cold. Sometimes you can get a cold and it kick the crap out of you, and you're out for the count. It kicks your butt, and it is okay. Now I ain't telling nobody to milk it, right? Because I have found myself in the early stage of multiple sclerosis where I put myself in the corner in a pity party like several times where I can't do it. I can't live like this. I mean, bawling, crying, dark cloud over my head, like opposite to where I am now. I've done this several times. And a lot of people in the MS community knows this because I went ghost. They didn't see me for a while. Now when you don't see me is because I'm giving myself a break through seasons because I need to recoup. I need to put energy into myself. And that's another thing about having a partner that men fail to realize. Man, you cannot expect your woman to pour into you if you're not pouring into her. Now, take me for instance, 100% disabled, right? And I'm not falling back on that. I'm not using that as an excuse, right? I can do things. My wife is working the load of the relationship, right? So now let's say, hypothetically, let's sit up and say that I can't walk. I'm in the wheelchair. Does that mean that I can't do anything? No, I need to figure out what things that I can do and take care of those things. That relieves the stress from her. Now, if I'm just totally not mobile, then more likely I have an aid or something. And a person in that situation, this is not for that person. Because sometimes we tend to sit up here and hear stuff and be like, well, I can't do that. This is not for you. If you totally can't move, I'm talking to the people that can move, especially those that can walk. Get out of your pity party. I can't expect my wife to be loving to me if I'm not trying to do something. Because you want to know what is going to make her tired? She is going to start resenting me, especially knowing that to some degree I can do something. A true partner that knows and that can feel, they can tell if you just sitting up here just not doing crap. I don't like when those people that are trying to do something, they get chastised but not doing enough, by not doing more. That burns my butt. Ms. Mimi says yes. The pity party can take control if you let it. Man, I've been there. I'm like I've been in such a pity party for I've been in like months of pity partiness. I mean, deep pity partiness. Like Jalissa says, fold clothes, maybe wash dishes. These little things help, guys. Don't never think that you cannot not do something. And this also builds that self-confidence in self. Being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, we have taken the smallest things for granted. Having a autoimmune disease Any form of disease, you tend to take things for granted because once that crap is gone, you're like, I wish I could do that. Bruh, I never, I never knew how important it was. And don't laugh at me, guys, but I did not know how important it was to be able to wash dishes. I don't even like washing dishes. I still don't like washing dishes. But having to walk up to the sink and trying to wash dishes, you got forks, spoons, and knives and stuff. And I like at the early stage of my MS, this hand, was it this hand or no, it was my right arm. My right arm always had spasms. And so as soon as I grab something, it's doing this. I remember, and I've told this story several times, but I remember I was trying to cook because my ex-wife, she liked it pulled pork. And I don't know why this screen is so dark, but she liked it pulled pork. And so I'm trying to make pulled pork in a slow cooker. And I had barbecue sauce. I done slow cooked the pulled pork. I done got the fork. Now I done separated the meat with no problem. Right. And I'm like, okay, cool. As soon as I got the barbecue sauce, I went to go pour it, and I had a serious spasm. And all this and barbecue sauce, this air all on the wall. I think I put myself in a pity party for a whole week because I was embarrassed. And I'm like, God, please do not tell me this is what I am going to have to settle for that whole week. I destroyed myself inside. I do believe that week I had such a bad flare that I passed out. I had my uncle slap me. They rushed me to the hospital that week, and I believe I was, yeah, that was that week. I probably was in a hospital for 3 days. I was admitted for 3 days, and it's it's hard. It is such a hard thing. So for anybody that's out there that don't understand the words that you speak when you're married, and I'm talking to married people, through sickness and health, those are sacred words. Regardless if you're sitting up here and changing your vows, those words still exist in a marriage, period. Don't go out here marrying someone. Heck, don't go out here getting into a committed relationship, because a committed relationship is low key marriage, regardless if you guys want to believe that crap or not. It is a low key marriage. Don't get in a committed relationship. And so that's why I go back to the person that on TikTok that said, hey, I don't tell them at the start. Why not? Give that person a chance to respectfully, sometimes I'm pretty sure somebody's going to be rude, but nicely say, I like you. I like you a lot, but I don't think I would be good in that situation. Let them make that decision. Don't make that decision for them. I know a lot of people that have said, I don't tell them at the very beginning. I won't tell them at the very beginning. So how are they seriously liking who you see? How are they liking who you are? Like, you're coming into the relationship with a mask on already. You're lying. But then finna sit up here and get mad if they lie to you about something. Like, it's a tit for tat thing. Um, I'm not saying that we all should think that way, but it's a thought, think about it. Or maybe I am saying we all should think that way. But again, like I'm we're this world has us so hard on ourselves. This world doesn't promote self-healing, self-care. It's not until people start going crazy to now the world wants to sit up and say, oh, we need to work on our mental issues. You do know the world is the reason why we have mental issues. The shit that they pour into us, the shit that they cause us to believe, the shit that they make us believe, the stuff that they sit and they tell us is the truth, then come back later on. Oh, that truth that we told you a long time ago, we found out that it ain't true. And, this is the new truth type thing. Jalissa says, because that's the end result for most. Why waste my time? I'm not getting to know you for nothing. Exactly. Don't sit up there and tell someone, or don't tell someone that, hey, I know we set this date up like 2 weeks ago, but I went to the doctor and I found out I had cancer. Nah, I'm not sure how long you are going to be able to run away from you taking chemo. That's if you take chemo and your hair starts falling out. They're gonna look at you like you crazy. Like, are you on drugs? Actually, no. Pun is attended. You are on drugs. You're taking chemo. And so now this person gonna start questioning you, like, or like Miss Williams said, I don't have time to waste. No one should be wasting anybody's time. And that's what we do. We're constantly wasting people's time. I'm gonna be the first, if not the last, to say, don't be scared of someone's past. Someone's past may one show you, ain't no may, will show you who they are, who they've become, possibly who they will be, and who they are not. Don't and then knowing someone's past does not mean that you have to hold them to that, because again, for me to be this person that everybody that I talk to seems to say I'm such a great person, I've gone through some things. I've gone through some horrible things. Horrible things. I've said horrible things to people. One of my kids' moms, I almost killed them. Like literally, almost killed them. It was self-defense, but I could be still rotting in jail right now if I had killed them. My kids would have lost both their parents. And this was around the time where I was showing signs of oh, no problem, Miss J, Miss J Ed. I definitely got to do a show with you soon before the season starts. But yeah, guys, I'm not saying that it is easy to pick a partner. Miss Julie, yes. And you know what? I know that, Miss Julie. I'm so in a rant right now. I'm so in a rant, so I do apologize. Um, I'm not saying that it's hard to get. It's not hard to get a partner. I mean, I'm not saying it is. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Because I get tongue tied a little bit, and that's part of my illness. Um, I have so much going on at one time, but don't call you miss. I have to call you miss. That's part of. You just gonna get respected today, regardless of how old I am. I do that to my kids. I say, ma'am, no, sir. That's a respectful thing. You shall receive that. I tell my wife, Mrs. Ma'am, thank you. But I get it. A lot of folks don't like to be called that. But so for those that are coming in late, we're talking about having a partner while dealing with multiple sclerosis. Because for those that don't know, I have multiple sclerosis, been dealing with multiple sclerosis for a long time. It is part of me. The reason why I have the nonprofit called I Can Beat MS, because I am beating MS. MS has nothing on me. Um, Something I can say for our MS community, a lot of us tend to put things on ourselves. So again, I go back to the partner. You should never find yourself in a marriage, in a relationship, and I'm gonna definitely emphasize relationships. If you find yourself in a relationship and you're like so many years down, and this person is not the support you need and is more as a detriment, why are you still there? So throwing myself up under the bus, I had to get to this realization. Do you want to worry about if a woman cares or doesn't care if you have $400 in your account every month? Or do you want to stay in a relationship to where I've com- I committed? I ain't no try in it. I've committed suicide in my previous marriage a couple of times. I've committed suicide in the relationship where I found myself going through the process of killing my kid's mom. I have proof to show it. Scars. Several. And I'm not gloating. This is a serious thing. Taking your time, having the patience to choose your partner is key. Knowing someone's past is key. Did I not divulge this with my wife now? Yes, I did. Oh, my wife now got like a shitload of bleh at the very beginning. When we decided, okay, this is going to be a relationship, all right, this is what I've been through. This is what I've done. This is what I learned off of what I've done. Miss Julie, again, that's what I've been saying. That sickness and health situation, a lot of people get in relationships and don't understand that it is a real thing. And Instagram, no, you cannot run from MS. You cannot run from MS. Man, I've been trying. I've tried. I've tried to run from MS. I'm a, and this is just to tell you how real this situation is. My previous marriage, we was going through it. One of the times where I'm fussing about her and her boyfriend, um, I had gotten so upset to where I'm gonna tell you how messed up my mind was. So my attempts of suicide came from the inner me was so boiling over. I had so much pressure in me. I felt like me cutting myself, and I was a cutter back in the days too. And me cutting myself and bleeding out, I literally saw smoke and the pressure coming from the slits that I did. I literally visioned the smoke, the pain, the pressure, all of it. Just I visualized it. That's how messed up I was. And it had nothing to do with her. It was all me, because I said, and I shall say it over and over again, the first time someone screws you over, that's on them. That second time that you don't move accordingly and you don't step back, from that point, it's on you. And so I always tell people, when I tell the story about my previous marriage, that first moment she stepped out, that's all hers. But everything after that, all that pain that I went through, I own up to it. That's on me. I can't blame her. I can't blame her for all the being admitted in the hospital as many times that I did, or being sent to the behavior health, the crazy house. That was me, because I was your trauma dumped on her. Yeah. Miss Julie, that was both ways. I tried to fix her. That was my problem. I tried to fix her. I wasn't even trying to fix myself. I tried to fix her. It wasn't until 2017 when I finally separated myself. And the way that I had to do it was messed up. Um, Jessica says, I like how you took ownership. Um, that's something that we don't do. We don't take ownership of what we're doing. But when I left, what really seriously got me to leave was I was in counseling. I was in counseling, and my counselor was telling me, Mr. Williams, hey, listen, I love your money. I love talking to you. No, you cannot fix anyone. I know that more than anything now. But she's like, I love your money. I love you talking to me. But there's two things. So two things, Mr. Williams. Either you're gonna come to my office and you're gonna talk about something totally different. Shut up, stop complaining, talk about something different because you're staying, or we're going to continue to talk about this and you're going to decide to leave. And that's what she gave to me. She said it one time, then I came back, and then she said it again. And that's when it sank in. She's right. Why am I complaining about something that I'm putting myself in? I'm causing myself pain. So, yes, I am taking ownership. It took me a minute to realize that, man, this is my fault. I saw my wife walk out, get on a plane. Well, I saw my wife leave the house, knowing she was lying. I just couldn't put my finger on it, but knowing she was lying, go get on a plane, travel from Georgia to California to be with a boyfriend. Had an incident happen at home that she needed to come home. She couldn't come home, and that's when she finally told me, oh, I'm in California. I can't do it. I can't come home because it's a one-way ticket. And so that's when everything started unfolding. Then I come to the realization that she didn't want to be in a marriage. She really didn't want to get married in the first place. I ran with that. Ms. Julie said it's incredibly hard to come to the realization that you participate in your own pain. Ha! Yeah. It wasn't that it wasn't as hard as you think, Miss Julie. It was very easy. It was easy. It was very easy. It was very easy. It was denial. I knew it. Again, it goes back to me trying to fix her, because once I understood that she didn't want me, I still saw her. I gave myself an excuse that I am her friend. I am not her husband anymore. I am her friend. And while I'm doing this, I'm ripping myself inside. MS is having a ball. Multiple sclerosis is like, oh yes, feed it to that, sir. Come on, give me some more. Give me some more. I can say during this time, We're in Mississippi. I didn't. I was past the committing suicide. It had gotten old because it just dawned on me, sir, it's not your time to go. So you might as well stop. You have something to do. And that's the other funny thing about my life. I always known that God had his hand on me and God had me pointed in a direction that I kept deferring from. And now I'm actually finally living what God has always from an early age, as I want to say probably as early as 3, that I've had a form of connection that I have with God now. But like so many others, we get so disconnected with the world's beliefs instead of what you believe in, what you feel. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I believe no religion, but I believe in God because I know what man is. I know who man is because I am a man. And I'm not just talking about gender wise, I am human. And belief is a very strong thing. I don't knock anybody else's beliefs. I'm not in that job. I'm not in that business to knock anybody's beliefs. But I'm sure going to tell you that that's not what I believe in. That doesn't work for me. And I'm going to surely tell you, I don't understand how you see that. But if that works for you, that works for you. And I'm not going to be mad if you feel the same way. It's just like my marriage. I am definitely going to tell you how my marriage works because it works for me. And guess what? There are some like-minded people out in the world. So even when we're coaching, when me and my wife are coaching, my thing is I can give you advice, I can give you tools. But once those tools leave me, once you implement those tools, once you implement those beliefs, those are yours. I'm not going to go tell you kill somebody or nothing like that. But once I say, hey, all right, this is something that you can try. Once you try it, it is yours. You've taken ownership of it. And that's something that we don't take ownership of neither. We watch all these people on Instagram, and just like right now, anything that I am saying to you, if you want to fact check it, check it. That's not going to hurt my feelings. Miss Julie, I think a lot of us been there. Miss Williams says, I want to hear how you separated yourself from her. Oh, how I separated myself from her? Again, it was the it was the counselor. It just dawned on me after she said what she said that why am I coming to a person and complaining about something that I'm doing to myself? I'm wasting her time and I'm wasting my money. I'm paying her monthly to come talk to her about the same thing. It may be a different situation, but it's the same person doing the same bull crap, creating the same results. So she just pretty much said, dude, shut up, stop complaining if you're going to stay there and soak in it. It's just like having a pity party for this illness. Oh, again, I know I can't speak for those that can't walk because I am walking, but I have been in that place where I couldn't walk and I understood that I can't walk now, but it doesn't stop me from doing anything else. And once I start playing that part, and even now, it's been plenty of times where I couldn't get up and move. So I am grateful for my partner that understood that. But I have to understand it for myself as well, that I may be in a wheelchair, I might be even bedbound, but that doesn't mean that I still can't think positive about what's going on in life, with my life. We beat ourselves up too much. And Miss Jessica said, I feel like I am existing in a world that everybody else is living in. I see where you're coming from. But I go back to my counselor. Who's doing that to who? You're doing that to yourself, Miss Jessica. You have to change your thought process. Our thought process is like one of our worst enemies, especially with having multiple sclerosis. That's the form of stress that MS sits back in the dark and waits for you to produce. Give it to me. Come on. I'm waiting. And that's not self-love. Like, how can we expect to find a partner to love us if we don't know how to love ourselves? That's another thing. So now life has changed for us. Getting to know, and I'm not talking about settle. I asked my doctor early last year, before one of my treatments. I asked my doctor, I'm like, hey, the reason why I started I Can Beat a Mess. I started I Can Beat a Mess because I wanted to work on the mental stability of MS patients. I get it. Everybody wants a cure, but is everybody ready for a cure? And that was my question for him. I was like, hypothetically speaking, if you guys were to create a cure that actually erased MS across the whole board, be honest with me, Doc. Once that's implemented, what's the high percentage of everybody going back to their what considered to be normal selves? His answer was, you do have to understand that neurological damage is a hard thing to reverse. Meaning, some of us, and I'm not trying to damper anybody, what I'm trying to get you to understand is not to settle for where you're at now, but to figure out what you can do while you're in a situation that you are in. Because sometimes it is hard to repair nervous systems. Like, I went blind in this eye, and I still have problems with this eye. This eye, I've come to the realization that the nerves on the back of my eye are probably not going to be repaired. Am I still asking God to do so? Yes, I am. But I'm not waiting on it. I'm still going through the process. And still, also, when we're not eating right, when we're not exercising right, when we're not thinking in a positive mindset, Miss Williams, I know it was a damper, but that was my thing. I my situation with the doctors throwing all these medications at us. They're giving us hope for this medication is going to bring you back to what people outside of me said that was normal. And I always say, what if you didn't have multiple sclerosis? What if you was in a car accident and you lost your leg? What if you had a head injury? Life throws things at us and we have to change. This is one of those situations. We have to adapt. Life is meant for us to adapt. Life was meant for us to change, to grow. And we find ourselves stagnant. We find ourselves complacent. And I'm going to end off on going back to the statement on TikTok. If you're seriously are wanting a support group, a supportive partner, you can't expect the partner to support you if they don't know what's going on. You can't see if that partner is going to be a good support group if they don't know what's going on. And last but not least, if you see that you're not getting the treatment that is needed, at some point you have to make a decision on yourself. Why am I still going through this? Why am I still putting up through this? And I know in my case, there are so many people in my case where Social Security, SSI, is not good enough for me to sit and go to somewhere, and so I'm just settling. I understand that. So that is like a hard situation. What is it that I do? You do some research. You know, um, I'm not going to say women have it easy, but there are more options for women when it comes down to finding places to go. You know, the world doesn't feel that men get abused as much as women do. The world feels that men should be able to uphold themselves better than women. When there are some women out here that are killing it, their confidence, they're killing it. And it is, it's, this world is just right now is on a evil journey. I hate to say that because there are some great people in this world, some wonderful people that have been that have drawn the short straw that are going through illnesses like myself. Um, changing your thought process. You have to change your thought process. You have to adapt. Not accepting who you are right now, but learning how to live with what you've been giving, the cards that have been played. So I do appreciate you guys. If you don't know, I do this every other Sunday. So it won't be next Sunday, it'll be the Sunday after next. 11 o'clock. No problem. No, thank you for watching. I do ask you guys to share. I'm gonna do all three platforms like I'm doing now. I may be in might be in a different environment, might be in a car because I do I'm a radio personality, and every first of the month I'm in Atlanta doing a radio show. So the setup might be different, but I'm going to try and continue doing all three of them like I'm doing. So I appreciate it. And Jessica, I'm so sorry that you were asking to come up. I apologize. I didn't see that until the last minute. But if you wanting to be on the show, for you guys that are wanting to be on the show, just DM me, and I would definitely love to hear your story. So depending on what platform that is, I would definitely schedule a show so that I can tell people what platform to go on. Because depending on what platform you're on, I'm not going to be able to do all three. So then I would have to direct people to where the guest is going to be on so they can see the full thing. But yeah, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Depending on the interaction will basically be how long I'm going to be on the show. So I shall see you guys later. See you later, TikTok. And you own that right there. And thank you guys for watching on Instagram. Close that right there in video. And yes, I want to share and Facebook, YouTube, and podcast listeners. I totally appreciate you guys too. And thank you again. And you guys have a great day.